Last week, Bengal exploded. 20 Trinamool Congress MPs vanished into a political party that, according to its own filings, once had 75 rupees in its bank account. 75. Not lakh, not thousand. 75. I spent an entire week trying to understand what exactly was happening. Then Maharashtra exploded. 6 Shiv Sena MPs. Flights to Delhi, meetings with the speaker, security upgrades, letters, signatures, counter-signatures, press conferences, threats of suspension. Everybody talking, nobody explaining. And for the second time in 7 days, I had the exact same thought. Why does this story sound familiar? Because at some point, coincidence starts becoming expensive. One party breaks, news. 2 parties break, pattern. 3 parties break, strategy. And suddenly, we're not looking at isolated political accidents anymore. We're looking at something taking shape. Let's rewind. Quickly. 2024, 400 par. The opposition was finished. History was inevitable. The BJP machine looked unstoppable. Then the results came. Editorial rooms celebrated. Opposition leaders celebrated. The memes celebrated. Kalyan Banerjee celebrated. Everybody remembers that moment. Everybody remembers BJP's report card. Almost nobody checked the rough work. Everybody remembers what BJP lost. Almost nobody asked what BJP learned. Because politics is not a motivational speech. Politics is chess. And in chess, when an attack fails, you don't cry about it. You don't write a thread about it. You reposition the pieces. The opposition treated 2024 like a victory parade. BJP treated it like a post-match video session. One side celebrated the score. The other side studied the weaknesses. Now let's clear the clutter. Because everybody keeps throwing around words like merger, split, rebellion, anti-defection. Here's the entire story. One number. 2/3. That's it. India's anti-defection law makes it difficult for an individual MP to simply switch parties and keep the seat. But when enough legislators move together, they can claim this isn't defection, it's a merger. And that one distinction changes everything. Aam Aadmi Party, then TMC, now Shiv Sena. Same number, same mechanism. Different state, different language, different logo. Same playbook. Now listen carefully to what the Shiv Sena rebels are saying. They say the party drifted from its ideology. They say leadership lost direction. They say Congress was becoming too influential. They say they had no choice. Where have we heard this before? TMC rebels said leadership drifted. Aam Aadmi Party rebels said leadership drifted. Different patients, same symptoms. When 5 different people walk into 5 different hospitals describing the exact same illness, you stop looking at the patients. You start looking at what they all have in common. This is where I stop doing what everyone else is doing. Everybody is counting. BJP has this many MPs. Congress has this many MPs. NDA has this many MPs. India has this many MPs. Wonderful, excellent arithmetic, gold star. But politics was never just arithmetic. Politics is geometry. Arithmetic counts points. Geometry connects them. Arithmetic tells you where the pieces are. Geometry tells you where they're moving.
Aam Aadmi Party cracking is a point.
TMC cracking is a point. Shiv Sena cracking is a point. DMK furious at Congress is a point. Pinarayi attacking Rahul Gandhi is a point. Samajwadi Party split rumors are a point. 1 point is an event. 5 points moving in the same direction, that's a pattern. Remember the India Alliance campaign song? Delhi mein pravesh ke khatir, Rahul aur Akhilesh ke khatir, Samvidhan bachana hai to, vote karo is desh ke khatir. Catchy song, beautiful sentiment. The whole pitch was simple. Stay together, fight together, win together, save the constitution together. One small problem. Nobody told the political parties they were supposed to keep singing it after the election. Because today, the same Akhilesh Yadav whose name was in that song is facing rumors that a large chunk of his own MPs could break away. No pun intended. The India Alliance had a campaign song. BJP had a campaign strategy. One of those ages better than the other. Congress has spent 2 years demanding opposition unity, which is admirable. It has also spent 2 years behaving like the largest tenant in the building demanding ownership rights, which is considerably less admirable. Every regional party keeps hearing the same message. Help us stop BJP. Also, please don't become more successful than us while doing it. Politics is not group therapy. Nobody gets points for good intentions. If your ally starts believing you're trying to inherit his voters, he stops behaving like an ally. DMK and Congress had a relationship stretching back decades. Then Congress saw an opening. 5 seats, 1 opportunity, 1 gamble. And suddenly one of its oldest allies started openly questioning its intentions. That's not arithmetic, that's geometry. A line broke. And here's the uncomfortable part. BJP is doing exactly what it should be doing. If you run a corporation and your competitors' executives are unhappy, you recruit them. If you run a football club and another team striker wants to leave, you sign him. If you run a political party and your opponents are fighting among themselves, you exploit it. That's not morality, that's strategy. The mistake isn't that BJP is making moves. The mistake is acting shocked that BJP is making moves. Now the arithmetic. NDA begins around 313. Add the Shiv Sena fragment. Add a few smaller pieces. 324. Add a major split elsewhere. 349. Still below the constitutional threshold. But here's where everybody makes the mistake. They assume BJP needs people to join BJP. Not necessarily. Sometimes all BJP needs is for people to stop standing together. DMK doesn't have to vote for BJP. DMK doesn't have to support BJP. DMK doesn't have to join NDA. DMK just has to walk out. And suddenly the denominator changes, the threshold changes, the arithmetic changes. Most people think power changes through dramatic speeches, historic elections, great ideological battles. Sometimes. And sometimes power changes because a few dozen MPs suddenly discover they have somewhere else to be that afternoon. Democracy's most expensive contribution might just turn out to be a very well-timed bathroom break. Because nobody is doing all this for 6 MPs, or 20 MPs, or better seating arrangements in Parliament. The prizes are much larger. Uniform Civil Code, One Nation, One Election, delimitation, Women's Reservation implementation. These aren't annual promises. These are inheritance projects. The kind of things parties want written into history. The kind of things movements spend decades chasing. In 2024, the opposition thought it had stopped BJP. Maybe it did, for a moment. But stopping a destination and stopping a journey are not the same thing. Because while everybody was counting MPs, somebody else was counting relationships, counting fractures, counting ambitions, counting exits, counting the distance between allies who no longer trusted each other. Because politics is not arithmetic. Politics is geometry. And right now, the shape forming across Indian politics looks very different from the one voters drew in 2024. You are watching Fault Lines. I'm Abhijit.